Cucumber here. Dustin Apirak coming to you live from a hallway at North Central High School.
We're using a garbage can at the top of it.
I mean, quite honestly,
we get it done.
Not the first time we've used a garbage can.
No, at least the second we definitely did that for McDonald's.
It's a good height.
It is. It is.
Anyways, let's talk about day one of the Adidas Invitational. The coaches are here.
They are.
We can actually see
who these people were actually really recruiting,
and who's been lying to us.
Exactly. Who's not really interested in that kind of thing. There's still, today. I guess today everyone's sort of everywhere.
Tom Crean, Tim Buckley, and Steve McLean were all here. They were working very fast.
They were moving a lot.
They were moving. You didn't see them stay still even for a whole games. You would see them watch a half, and then they'd go somewhere else, and they'd come back, or they wouldn't come back. They'd go to another gym.
And they'd switch spots, too. Like, just if there were some guys that they didn't want to think weren't being watched, for instance, the commits especially.
Right.
Whenever Indiana Elite was playing, they had to make sure just at least somebody was there at all times. Didn't have to be all of them, and somebody might go and, literally, kind of tag team the thing.
Right.
I saw that. I saw Crean and McLean do that with the Eric Gordon 16s with Devin Davis and Colin Hartman. They just wanted to make sure that there was never a point where they would look around and they wouldn't see somebody, but they tried to each cover as much ground as they possibly could.
Right, and you also saw situations like Indiana Elite tonight when they were playing Connecticut Basketball Club. Tim Buckley's at that game. You want to show those recruits that you still care about them. You want to see how they're doing, but at the same time, Tom Crean was able to go out to Westfield. He watched Demetrius Jackson play. That's obviously a 2013 point guard.
Right, and they need a point guard.
They need a point guard. That's a real need for them, and he looks like a guy who could fill that need. They have not offered him. This evaluation period is going to be really when they decide whether or not to offer the guy.
Right, and then I think there's a long list of those guys, especially in 2013. There are guys that they're also trying to figure out, okay, how deep is the pool we're swimming in here? For instance, Brandon Green, they're still, they're in there. Tom Crean sent letters. He's made calls. He hasn't offered a scholarship yet. And I think in large part because he knows exactly how deep that pool is. You watched Brandon Green today, you saw pretty much every major college program in the country. Roy Williams was in to see him. Coach Krzyzewski was in to see him. Basically, Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, everybody went to watch that kid today, and he's got probably 15 offers. And so Indiana found out, okay, exactly what are we dealing with here, and they found out they're dealing with a lot. So it's hard to say how much they'll continue to push that, but maybe they will.
Yeah, I think Indiana's in position because of having 9 verbal commits from 2012 to 2014.
Right.
Is you can look at it two ways. Either they don't need to chase those kids because obviously what they're doing is working. And they can attack kids that are already listening to them, or they do have the freedom and freelance to maybe go say you know what, let's see if we can get on it. Right.
Let's just see if we can, make sure we have backup plans. But, we've already put all this much time to this kid. It's not going to be an absolute tragedy if we miss out on him. We have a bunch of players. We have a bunch of scholarships filled. It's not going to kill us if we shoot and miss. If you take a shot and put some time in on a kid that doesn't work out, hey, you've already got 9 guys in. It's not like you're, trying to build up from nothing right now.
Right. Let's talk about, let's not talk about the commits. I don't want to talk about the commits.
We should at some point quit.
Okay, all right,
just get it over with?
Two sentences on Yogi Ferrell.
Played a lot better in the second game, was a lot more under control, really shooting a lot better.
He got really angry in the first half. He wasn't getting the ball in the way he liked. He wasn't being treated as the team's point guard, and he started playing with a real edge to his game that I liked.
Right. Real quick, just so you know, in terms of who they played, the Indiana Elite Team Indiana lost to Shabazz Muhammad's team, Dream Visions, and then beat Andre Drummond's team, number 2 player in the country, Connecticut Basketball.
Muhammad is number 1.
Muhammad is number 1, Drummond's number 2.
Drummond was number 1, but he kind of sucked at NBA camp, so Muhammad became number 1.
Okay.
All right, Jeremy Holloway.
Game is really coming together nicely, I think. More versatile, shooting it well, posting up, driving, doing everything you need to do to score.
Yeah, first half against Connecticut Basketball Club, he was really carrying them offensively. His jump shot's been on. Hunter Perea.
Ridiculous dunk. Absolutely ridiculous dunk.
I know.
Was in foul trouble, but...
It was hard to get a good read on him because he was in foul trouble so much. And he also didn't really guard Andre Drummond a lot, which is kind of the matchup I wanted to see.
Right, exactly.
Obisha got that matchup the vast majority of the time, and he did well. Okay, Devin Davis.
Still don't know what position he's going to play. Really tenacious on the boards. Still don't know if he can be a 3 or a 4 or what. 6'5". It's tough to figure him out because he's not a perimeter player by nature.
Colin Harmon?
Expanding the offensive game a little bit, not as much as you like yet.
Okay. I didn't see Davis or Harmon today, so I won't offer anything on that. Neither one of us saw Patterson. We'll see him tomorrow. Trey Lyles is not here. He's at Peach Jam. And I watched Speed City Heat's first game, but James Lockman Jr. wasn't there because he was at the funeral for Austin Hatch's father and stepmother. So, I don't know how to segue from that. That's why they go to commercial.
Well, let's go to Let's go to non-commitments. I mean, who did you see today? That
Stephen Domingo was the first guy I really watched today. He's a 2013 forward from California. It's really easy to see the potential in him. He's really long. He's lanky right now. He has a really nice jump shot. He banked in a shot from the baseline, and he got really aggressive offensively after that. There's a lot to not like right now. He's number 36 player nationally, so I don't want to be too pessimistic.
Right.
But he did get a shot blocked 3 times inside, and there wasn't the guys he was going against were his size.
Right.
So that kind of stuck out to me. And he just just wasn't really aggressive offensively. But it's AAU, and wings have a hard time getting the ball unless they happen to be blessed with a point guard who actually likes to give them the ball. Other than that, Demetrius Jackson I thought was really good. I think that's a guy in state that's really coming on, and if he wasn't in Mishawaka, could be seen as a real Mr. Basketball contender. It'd be hard from that far up north. He really needs to get to Indy in order to be Mr. Basketball. Well, no, I mean for Conseco. He needs to get to the state finals. If he gets to the state finals, he has a chance.
True.
If he stays in northern Indiana, when's the last Mr. Basketball to come out of northern Indiana?
Right, it's tough. It's tough for those guys.
Dominic James is probably going to be Mr. Basketball, even though he wasn't really Northern Indiana. So
I think it's open in that class, though. I mean,
it is. No one's really jumped out. Even in 2012, no one's really like.
That's just going to be a dogfight for 2012 because it's going to be a great. There's a lot of really good candidates there, but I think 2013 is sort of really wide open. Nobody's kind of become sort of alpha dog in that class yet. I think this year's high school season is the year where you find out who out of that group becomes the guy, who's capable of that. Maybe Jackson is that guy. Maybe he's got that type of game. I haven't seen him yet. I'm anxious to see him, actually.
Yeah, Michigan and Xavier have both offered him. Michigan State, he's established a really good relationship, he said. Notre Dame, he's had a long-standing relationship with. He's visited Indiana. He seems really eager on Indiana. You saw that a lot, too. Jalen Brown was the same way. He was very eager about Indiana. He had taken a visit. He really liked it. He wanted to see more.
Right.
Jaquan Lyle talked about wanting to go on another unofficial visit.
Lyle's been up on Indiana for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, that seemed to be real. A lot of the guys I saw today, you don't see them as like, oh, they're going to commit next week, guys.
Right.
Or even that IU would want their commitment next week. But you saw a lot of guys that are going, yeah, Indiana, I like that guy.
Right.
And that's different. I've covered every recruiting July of Tom Crean's tenure, and it kind of went from that first July being kind of like, oh, here's this new guy, and he seems nice.
Right.
But I don't really know anything, and the program's in disarray, so... And he was really focused on younger guys that were far away in their decision,
Right. And even last year, they were pushing hard, but everybody was kind of playing close to the vest at that point, it seemed like. But, everybody knew that that he was after so many guys, and they knew he was close on so many guys, but nobody wanted to go too far with it. They just kind of said, Indiana's in.
Everyone was, they were like, it ended obviously worked out the way it did, but they also could have, then it felt like they just easily could have been the bridesmen on all 9 of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. It seemed like they were very close, but it could go
either way. Now what you're seeing is, it's kind of a curious spot for Indiana. We alluded to it earlier.
Yeah.
Do they go out? Do they say, like, especially that 2013 class, it is a little low in state. You go, this is a good opportunity for us. So option number wise, to expand, to really let's go after and let's see if we can't find some guys. And then if we miss, we can have our backups and we can figure out where we go from there.
Right.
Is there transfers options, or there's different things that we can do. But I think that class, at some point we're going to see Indiana start really competing nationally again. And I think it's going to be pretty soon because, in state-wise, I think they're really solid. I don't think I think Purdue's obviously doing well too, and no one's ever going to be really truly number one. But you can't say that Indiana's behind the same way that you said for a few years.
Right, exactly. They can know that they're solid in state, and then go out and take the big risk nationally in a way in the way that they really couldn't in this past stretch. This past 2 years were so good in state that they absolutely had to hit it and hit it hard.
Right. It'll be hard to do that. It'll be hard to do that in 12 just because they just spent so much time securing the guys they have.
Right. And there was so much talent in state that you could
anybody
get by
now, they'd be really jumping on late.
Right. Extremely late.
Yeah, I mean, so I think 13.
I think Gary Harris is the only target for 2012 now.
Right. 13, I think, is a class where you got to get in right now, or else you're going to be too late. Right. And I think 14 is a class that they can be very aggressive on.
Exactly. I support all your theories there.
All right. We'll be back at it tomorrow.
4 days.
4 days of Adidas Invitational.
We'll go someplace else.
There's Coach's Classic this weekend. There's Kentucky Hoop Fest.
We still don't really know where we're going to be yet, but we'll
figure it out. Yeah, kind of depends on who else we talk to. All right, see you tomorrow.